Hello everyone, welcome back to Daily Downshift. My name is Oris and this one is very exciting. There's just so much to fill you in on. If you have not yet heard about the latest Corvette news, there have been a number of sightings of what we believe to be the Z06. Well, to be completely honest, I'm pretty certain it is in fact the Z06. Now, some YouTubers may have already covered some of this content, but I still have something interesting that may have been overlooked and you have to glance very closely just to see it. And don't worry, I'll also be discussing the active Aero on the C8 and, as a bonus, a Toronto spotting. Yes, that's right, in our hometown. Anyways, the anticipation is killing me, let's just get right into it. So this clip that I'm about to share with you was filmed by Randy Herman, and I'll leave a link in the description below. You can hear the Z06, which sounds incredible, but don't get too excited because they never come close to fully revving it, and that's just probably as per GM's orders. But let's just confirm one thing here. It's totally a flat plane crank. As usual, the Ferrari 458 is present along with the Porsche GT2 RS. This time, however, there appears to be 7 cars in total though. The 458, the GT2 RS, 3 prototype cars which might just be Z06s, an Elkhart Lake Blue C8, and finally an Accelerate Yellow C8, which in itself is a rare sight according to how many have been produced so far. So here is something that you may have just missed, and so many of you complained that the C8 Stingray didn't have. About 58 seconds into the video, the cameraman zooms into the rear diffuser of the first prototype. And if you compare all 3 of them, one is not like the others. And I don't mean to play Where's Waldo with you guys, so I'll just spill the beans. On one of the cars, there looks to be a cutout in the diffuser for a center-mounted exhaust system. Once I saw this, I had infinite questions. Could it be the Grand Sport, or better yet, the ZR1 being tested? But already, that wouldn't make much sense. Are they changing the C8 back to a center-mounted exhaust? I mean, what could it be? My best guess would be that all the vehicles are the same and they're just testing sound differences. But you tell me what you think in the comments below, because maybe some of you have a much better explanation. So we've also seen some shots of the Z06 with its active Aero, that is with its rear wing. This leads me to believe that GM may offer this option as a completely different trim. I could be entirely wrong about this, I admit it, but that's the best explanation as to why other test mules don't have the Aero and this one does. First of all, thanks to GM Authority for these pictures. There's just so many angles which gives you such a good idea as to exactly what it will look like as a finished product. So some of you may disagree with me here, but I'm infatuated with the wing. Especially from the rear, it just looks so aggressive. It's so European and I love that about it. It immediately reminds me of the Koenigsegg Agera R, or Agera R, however you want to pronounce it. I mean, just look at it. It doesn't only look good, but it's supposedly active, which means it's going to be dynamic, so it's going to adjust to your speed. All I have to say is wow. Now, I prefer the clean look of the C8 without a wing, but I do like the look of the Z51 spoiler as well. But the high wing just seems like a complete afterthought to me. It has 4 posts and looks just like a hockey stick. Quick disclaimer though, I haven't seen one in person yet, and we are actually meeting up with someone who has the high wing, so I will still reserve my judgment until that time. But in the meantime, this wing is the one that I really want. Furthermore, looking at these spy shots and active Aero aside, we can see some beefy wheels and new tires. And although the rims are hidden, you can clearly make out a distinct carbon fiber weave. Now, don't expect these to come as standard on the base model, they will definitely cost a pretty penny if you want to tick that box. I'm guessing at least 15,000 USD, seeing as how the carbon fiber track pack, which added the carbon fiber rims to the Mustang GT500, was about 18 grand. So not cheap, but this fully decked out car is going to be a real looker. And with these new rims, they're clearly offering the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires, which are so beefy. The front is going to be a 275 in size with a 20-inch rim, and the rears will be a 345 wrapped on a 21-inch rim. just making the car way more aggressive and giving it such a heavier road presence. One thing to note about these images is that this one clearly doesn't have the center mounted exhaust, which only makes me much more curious as to what is going on in that first video, but I guess time will just have to tell. Finally, this one is geared towards the fellow Canadians. A camo C8 has also been spotted doing the rounds in the Toronto area. It was posted on the Toronto Car Spotting Facebook group and had me ecstatic when I first saw it. I mean, I'm still pretty excited right now. The reason being is that the C8 was almost impossible to see here when it first came out. We actually had to drive down to the United States twice just to see it in person. Once to Victor, New York, and the second time to Green Bay, Wisconsin. What I can tell is that it doesn't have a center mounted exhaust or the active Aero, so maybe it's not even a Z06. It would be a really funny troll if it was just some guy who wrapped his C8 Stingray in camo and pretended that it was a prototype. You'd really need a lot of time on your hands to be doing that, so my best guess is that this is some legit prototype. Either way, the fact that they're potentially doing some testing with the new Z06 in Ontario, this is very welcomed, and I promise that we will be on the lookout from here on out, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So that is going to do it for the content today. We will keep you updated on any other new information. We're also going to keep an eye open for that test mule that's lurking in Toronto, and we'll try to get any footage if at all possible. As usual, share with me your thoughts in the comments below. We really want to hear what you think about all this new information. Do you like the idea of carbon fiber rims on a Corvette? What about that wing? I have a feeling it's really going to divide the room because it seems like a love or hate. Finally, what is up with that center mounted exhaust? If anybody has anything close to a possible explanation, no matter how far-fetched it is, please do share it with me. As always, give us a like if you've enjoyed the content and consider subscribing if you want to keep seeing videos like this. We still have so many more C8 videos coming shortly. So thank you for watching and stay safe.